Hello everyone, in this video we would be discussing 5 critical diagrams on opening stage. All the 5 diagrams are going to be extremely critical for all those who suffer or are not really be able to find the best moves in the opening stage or make blunders or errors in the opening stage. So it's going to be a very interesting and a crucial video if you really want to improve your game. So I don't want to waste any further time, so let's start. So we have the first position on our board. We are playing with the white pieces, and here black played the move queen to d7. And after queen d7, pause the video and try to find the best move for white in this position. How will you really continue the position if you are playing with the white pieces? Okay, so after queen d7, you can already realize that white has not really castled yet. So maybe just playing bishop e2, and it's the best move. Your idea is pretty simple. You are finishing your development, not moving the same piece twice. Your idea is to simply short castle. All those who thought of bishop d3, this move is extremely fine as well. But a small error in this particular move here is, like the bishop on d3, maybe there could be some troubles on the bishop on d3, as the bishop on d3 is undefended. And after bishop d3, if you put the rook to d1 in the future, the bishop would be simply blocking the rook. So it's already not a good idea. So that's why bishop e2 is simply the best. Like there is no big problem with bishop d3, but we never know. Yeah, all those who think rook d1, yeah, it's also a fine move. You're putting the rook at the same rank as the same file as queen. And all those who thought long castle, it's a bit aggressive. It is not really needed because black can already start attacking on the queen side. So it's just a bit too over ambitious. A simple move and the best move is bishop e2. You want to do a short castle and you are simply better. So this was the first position. So now let's move on to the second position. Okay, so we have the second position on our board. It's white to play and black played the move f into e5. So pause the video and try to think how will you resume this position with the white pieces. Okay, so after f into e5, you just need to realize like what are the pieces that are not yet developed. For example, I can say the bishop and the queen are the pieces that are not yet developed yet. How can I really improve the pieces? Definitely, if any of the players thought maybe knight f5, yeah, it makes sense. It's not a bad move, but you are just simply moving the same piece twice. All those who thought bishop into c4, definitely it's a candidate move, and it should be a candidate move because you must always consider captures as your first choice, and like it should be at least in your candidate list. So bishop c4, knight c4, it's not really working. It is just helping black, as the knight on a5 was not really well placed, but after knight c4, the knight can simply go to d6, or even the e8 knight can simply jump and sit on d6, and black is pretty happy. So that's why we simply first play bishop g5, and all those who found the move, congratulations. You simply develop the bishop and attack the rook. So basically you develop the bishop with the tempo. And after rook g7, how will you continue the position? Queen to g4. You basically now develop both the pieces, the bishop and the queen. All those who thought knight f5, still absolutely no problem with it. But you're first developing all your pieces, keeping the maximum flexibility. And after rook f7, simply knight to f5 was happened in the game. And after bishop takes, knight to d6 was happened in the game. And simply rook f2 takes, and this position is already winning for white, as the e5 pawn is extremely weak. The knight on a5 is kind of misplaced, and white is already winning. So yeah, just get all your pieces into the game. First, develop the bishop, the queen, and as all the pieces are already developed, now you just try to put the pieces at their best squares. And this is how you simply play. So this was the second position. So now let's move on to the third position. Okay, so we have the third position on our board. We are again playing with the white pieces, and here black played the move queen to c5. And after queen c5, pause the video, the position is already looks very interesting. So pause the video and try to find the best continuation for the white side. Okay, so after queen to c5, there are already many interesting options because your opponent's king is still in the center. So we will first try to look at some forcing options so that you can simply just make a straight path and claim your victory. So maybe something moves like maybe queen e4. It looks pretty natural. You're centralizing the queen and also attacking the rook. It's a fine move, but bishop d5 or maybe rook c8 and black is fine. If you thought of bishop h3, which also looks very tempting, you are sacrificing the bishop. First of all, if the queen falls back, already queen e4, and white is already having a very pleasant position. So, but the problem here is black can happily capture the bishop, and after queen e4, simply rook c8, and everything is covered up, and white is losing the game. So that's why bishop a3 is also not working. So the move that is actually working and pretty flexible. First of all, let's try to ask what is the idea of black. Black's idea is to play g6, bishop g7, and short castle. Obviously, black would not obviously castle on the long side because it is going to remain absolutely weak. So the idea is generally to play g6, bishop g7, short castle. So we play the move rook to d1. We get our rook into the game because it is still not yet developed. So rook d1, putting the rook on an open file, and after rook g1, white is already having a very pleasant position. Like for example, if you play something like g6, now queen e4 is strong. Bishop e4 cannot be, bishop d5 cannot be played because the bishop would be hanging. And if rook c8, simply bishop e3 now, and white is already having a very good position and a winning position. So that's why at the place of g6 in the game we had f6, but now knight g6 takes, and after queen e6, black is a pawn up, but the king is in the center. The rook can simply jump onto the 7th rank, and black is going to have a hard time. And I don't really see a good move from the black side, and white is completely winning. So yeah, this was the third position, a very interesting one. So now let's move on to the fourth position. Okay, so we have the fourth position on our board. Here it's black to play, and white played the move bishop to g2. So pause the video and try to think how will you really continue the position if you're playing with the black pieces. Okay, so after bishop g2, there are already many options available from the black side. One of the most natural option is to simply short castle, because castle is a move that you have to do either in the present or in the future. So what's the big problem? Yes, the big problem here is after short castle, which is definitely one of the most common move, white can play knight c3. First defend the pawn, and on the next move, white is simply going to do a short castle, and white is going to be happy. There are absolutely no weakness, and we are going to have a game, which you can win, you can draw, or you can even lose. Yep. But at the place of castling, you're actually having a good advantage, a good position to take the advantage. So after bishop g2, the good move here is to play the move bishop to g4. First, let's try to discuss other move. For example, if you try to get the knight into the game via knight g4, attacking the f2 pawn, it's not really working, as after simple short castle, I don't see any good way. Like queen e2, bishop f3, and definitely you can go for this, but you just lost too much time. White is having too much active play, so this won't be a position I would like to recommend. So bishop f5, yeah, it's fine move. It's definitely a fine and a good move. But we are going to do the same, but first playing bishop g4. And after bishop g4, the whole idea here is we are provoking white to play f3, attacking the bishop, and now going bishop to f5. So what's happening in this position here is, if I first directly play bishop f5, now the bishop on g2 is actually good. But instead, I first played bishop g4, provoking h3, f3, and now bishop f5. So now the bishop on g2 is simply a bad piece because of the pawn on f3, and white can't really short castle now. So it's already a good position for black. So this type of maneuver, like bishop g4 and then bishop f5, provoking f3, is also known as the disappearing move, or maybe disappearing maneuver. Yeah, which is all a very interesting idea. So, for example, after bishop g4, if white tries to do simply a short castle, we can already play long castle, and now black is just having too much aggressive play, and black is already very comfortable. And after bishop g4, if for example after bishop g4, maybe f3, bishop f5, and if white tries to go for capturing the pawn, already short castle, and black is just having too much activity to checkmate the white king. So that's why, overall speaking up, bishop g4 is the best move to take the opening stage into already in your side, in your benefit. So this was the fourth position, a very interesting one. So now let's move on to the final position of the day. Okay, so we have the fifth and the final diagram of the day. We are playing with the white pieces, and here black played the move knight b to d7. So this position is already very interesting. So pause the video and try to find the best continuation with the white pieces. Okay, so after knight b to d7, white is already having many moves. One of the most common move and the natural move looks like to simply push the pawn to e4, because you are having a very good center control. You want to open up the bishop, which makes absolutely fine move. And yeah, in any random position, this will make the best sense. But in this particular position, it's a blunder because of knight b6. The bishop is attacked and the pawn is attacked. So white has to play queen d3. But now after takes, white has lost his bishop advantage, the bishop pair advantage, which is already a good advantage for black. Definitely you can say this position is still slightly better for white, but black simply removed some of your advantage by capturing the bishop. You can play the move bishop d2 because these three pieces are not yet developed. So bishop d2 definitely makes some sense. You're developing the piece, but it's basically a passive development of your pieces, which is still fine. You are still having the advantage, but not the best continuation. Black can play e5. So instead, at the place of bishop d2, all those who found the move rook d1, congratulations, it's the best move. It is just basically a chapter of, you can say, alignment. You first develop the rook. You're putting the rook at the same file as the queen. And whenever black's idea is to play e5 or c5, getting a central break. And the moment black tries to achieve it, we can maybe capture, we can even push, because the rook is already aligned at the same file as the queen. So black has to be a bit careful. Yep, and the rook on the a file will simply come on c file. Now you can play e4, develop your bishop to a bit more active square rather than on d2, and white is already better. Yeah, you can already feel the position. White is pretty flexible with his options, and white is better. So guys, these were the 5 critical diagrams that can help you to improve your game on the opening stage. That will help you to make less error, or just get your chances if your opponent makes some errors in the opening stage. So guys, if you learned anything new today, make sure to like, share, subscribe. It's free for you, but it helps us to motivate to make more videos like this. So I'm going to see you soon. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching Oneshot Chess.